My name is Jacqueline Bray. Sorry for the bad setup, but I'm going to be reviewing a book for my survival, science fiction and survival literature class. The book is called Kindred. I don't have the skin for it, but it comes in this really cool paper skin over it, but this is really cool, the back of it. And yeah, so the genre of this book is pretty much our science fiction, our feminist science fiction, feminist because of our African American female lead, and her name is Dana. I'd say she's a very hard-headed, strong person, and she narrates the story, and she basically time travels back into I think it's like 1870 something, and then it's actually like 1973 in her time. And it's just, the book starts off as her and her newlywed husband. They are moving into their apartment together, and Dana suddenly gets dizzy and like blacks out. For all Kevin knows, Kevin is her husband, Dana's husband, sorry. And we really don't know what happened really, because it is the start of it. And get out. And so she time travels back, and it's this kid drowning, which is Rufus, our third character that I'm talking about now. He is a kid, and we'll see throughout the story that he grows up every time Dana time travels back. And so she's time traveled there, and she's there saving him. And this is back in the time of where our African Americans didn't have their rights. They were enslaved, and so Dana saves him, and she's about to be shot, and Rufus is like, it's okay, she saved me and everything. And then Dana slowly realizes, oh crap, she's finally, she's back in time where I guess she doesn't belong, where they've got slaves. They got slave owners, which is our white slave owners, which is Mr. Whalen, Rufus's dad. And so when I believe it's Mr. Whalen is beating Dana, and then she comes back, and he's like, and Kevin's like, what the heck, why are you soaking wet, what happened? And she's like, you're never gonna believe me about this stuff. And so Rufus is, I guess, technically Dana's, I wouldn't say family, but like he's the father of her ancestors. And because Alice, which is a girl that Rufus grew up with, who he's in love with, and obviously she doesn't love him back, and he keeps her enslaved there because obviously he's going to keep her and not sell her, and he rapes her, and she has his children. And so yeah, Rufus is, I guess it's interesting how he grows up and how you see him grow up, because when he's little, he is uneducated, really, because he grew up with Mr. Wayland calling the slaves the N-word, and Dana is like, don't you ever call me that, like, ever. And so she kind of educates him a little bit. So basically, we see Rufus evolve into not so good of a person. And so, she comes back, again, the second time, when he is setting the house on fire. Well, he's about to set the house on fire. And we start to see this pattern of her saving Rufus every time she comes back. And, so he's about to set the house on fire. She saves him from doing that. Yep, yada yada. And then this time, when Dana goes back, she gets beat by Mr. Wayland. And so she comes back, and Kevin is like, what the actual heck is happening right now? And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, okay, we'll get something to eat. And then we'll be fine. And so we are back here, and then Dana starts to pass out. This time, Kevin grabs onto Dana, and he goes back with her. And Dana realizes now, she's like, okay, well, now they think that, now they can think that he's my slave owner, and we'll stay together, we'll be fine, and everything. And so, yeah, there's that. And then back to Rufus progressing into who we see him at the end of the novel. It's just, he starts to become more and more like his dad. And you can really see that in our last 2 or 3 chapters in the book, I'd say. Because of him being extremely rude to Dana and everything like that. And she's like, and then Dana figures out that Rufus raped Alice, and that he's like in love with Alice and everything and all that stuff. It's a messy situation. And so, yeah, I hope that's a good gist of the story, because it was a little everywhere, but yeah. So another thing I do want to talk about is the change in color in the book. So here is them in their normal time. This is their normal, like, 1976, yeah, 1976, the modern time of the book, of Dana's time. And so, and then here we have back when she travels back with Rufus and everything. We've got our brighter colors. See that? See, we have that. And so, yeah. I would really think that if you're traveling forward in time, that you're going to illustrate that brightly colored and everything, which I can compare this to what it would be like, let's see, what movie was it? The Giver. So we have our, I guess this isn't really like a, okay, let's say Wizard of Oz. You have your time of black and white in the beginning of the movie where she's at home and everything. And then you have your, and when she's in Munchkinland. I guess it's not really like time traveling, but it's a comparison between the two. Which I would think, when you're going back in time, it would be, you know, the black and white, right? But we have the grayish, brown tones, neutral tones in the modern time. And then when she goes back in time, it's our bright, yellowy, purpley, bright colors, which is strange. And but yeah, in my opinion, overall, I think this is a great book. I would have never, like, voluntarily read it, but, like, I knew, I was like, might as well give it a try. It's a different thing to read. I'm normally reading, like, John Green books and anything in that category like that when I am reading. But this was a good change, and I honestly really did enjoy this book thoroughly. It was, yeah, like I said, not in my, genre of reading, but I did really enjoy it, and yeah, that is my review for Kindred. Sorry if that was all over the place, but I am about to go to work. So, thanks for watching.